Lurch is a mechanic that allows you to change your direction midair shortly after leaving the ground. On paper, this seems like a pretty standard mechanic, but there is no limit on how many lurches can be used back to back. This means that it is possible to make large shifts in your direction midair when lurches are stacked. To do a simple lurch, all that is required is that you tap any directional key midair. This can include A, S, D, or W. While lurching, it is important to remember that it doesn't come with a cost though. The sharper of a direction change you make with the lurches, the more speed you lose. There is one exception. Lurches that don't shift your direction more than 25 degrees will not tax any of your speed. This combined with the ability to stack lurches leaves you with a form of tap shifting that is commonly used by thousands of mouse and keyboard players. By binding move forward to scroll wheel, lurches can be easily stacked. Turning while scrolling will now result in many individual lurches changing your direction by a small amount. When they are added together, you can make ridiculous changes to your direction midair, ranging from 90-degree turns, 180, and even 360. Advanced lurch strafes are much more complicated. They make use of Lurch's ability to be redirected. Holding A while tap strafing will make your character lurch diagonally to the left. Holding S and A while lurching will cause your character to be moved directly to the left. The only caveat is that it is impossible to redirect lurch farther than 90 degrees without special binds. This means we can change the direction of our lurch by changing where we redirect lurch, instead of looking where we want to tap strafe to. This method is commonly called lurch strafing. Under the term lurch, there's many methods and styles that people like to use. Many of these methods and styles have their own names. Some common ones you may have heard are Yuki, Raz, and Pedo. Yuki and Pedo are not ones I'll go over in this video, but I will link to videos which I highly recommend from some of my friends. To do a forward Raz strafe, you will simply put AWD while scrolling. You can also do DWA for the other direction. For a backwards Raz strafe, you will do ASD while scrolling, or DSA to go in the other direction. Once we begin to become more confident with our lurch strafes, this is where we can begin to chain them with B-hops. This is where lurch strafing gets really crazy because we can start to do multiple in a row in quick succession. So example, we can do a backwards Raz into another backwards Raz. We combine this speed boost such as Octane Stim, and we get a pretty crazy effect. Whenever you're inputting multiple lurch strafes in a row, you'll have times whenever you'll run out of momentum. And in those times, what you do not want to do is you not want to keep crouching. Because if you keep crouching, what you're going to do is see if I do normals, see you eventually, you're just going to lose all of your momentum. So what's important to learn is that once we get to that point, we need to stand up and we need to gain some of that momentum back, and then we can keep lurching. It's important though to remember while we do this is that we don't have to do the same strafe every single time. Different situations will call for different strafes, different patterns. It's very important that we try to maintain a free form of movement. We shouldn't be confined to doing the same strafe every single time. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to join the Discord server, which I actually just opened with the launch of this video. There will be a specific channel just for answering questions with people just like me who will be there to answer them for you. I'd also like to give a big thanks to Cupcake and Magic for helping me make this video. Cupcake helped me get third-person point of views, as used earlier in the video, and Magic basically wrote the whole entire first half of the script. Magic's YouTube will be linked in the description. Please go show him some love.